Many of you probably saw the booth outside. We are trying, in conjunction with Brandon here, to start up a statewide Teenage Republicans organization. It is something the chairman has identified as a priority for him, and we want to make sure that Brandon has the time to give you a quick pitch as to why Teenage Republicans are useful to you as a state committee member and a county party chair. So Brandon, and then followed by Megan, who helps them with the county party and coordinate. So Brandon, got it.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be here today. So when I first got involved in politics, I was 14 years old, upset about Obamacare. Like most Americans, I had absolutely no idea what was in it, yet it was getting completely shoved down our throats anyway, and I wanted to get involved to do something to stop it. So I emailed Bucks County Republican headquarters, asked what I could do, and they forwarded my email to a chairman at the time and founder of the Bucks County Teenage Republicans, Brian Devlin. And that's when I first kind of found out what the Teenage Republicans were. And the Teenage Republicans are basically a group of teenagers who understand the direction this country is heading and want to do something to change that. We're not old enough to vote, but just like our slogan says, you don't have to be old enough to vote to make a difference. And that's why we do anything we can, knock doors, stuff envelopes, make phone calls, anything we can to support the candidates that understand that conservative principles and conservative ideas are what we need to bring this country back on track. So Brian had told me when the next meeting was, and I decided to go. At the time, I still wanted to be a baseball player, but as you can see, standing behind this podium today, getting involved and going to that first meeting definitely did a lot to change my life. And the thing is, there are so many teenagers out there with strong opinions about politics and want to get involved, but they just don't know how because they don't know organizations like the Teenage Republicans even exist. And that's why we're taking the approach we've taken in Bucks County over the past couple years. So in September 2011, I was elected chairman of the Bucks County Teenage Republicans. And at that meeting where I was elected, we had 6 teenagers in attendance, only 6. So we knew we had to grow going into such a big year as 2012. So the past couple of years, we worked on developing a model to not only get the word out about the Teenage Republicans to the community, but also get new teenagers involved, and it's really worked. At our meeting right before the election, we had 22 teenagers in attendance. And you might be saying, well, of course, it's a meeting right before one of the biggest elections of these kids' lifetimes. Of course, you'll have a big attendance. And yeah, you're right. But we didn't stop there, and I don't need to go into the results of the youth vote last election, but I will just say it motivated us to become even more aggressive in our approach to get teenagers involved. So much so that at our January meeting, despite no election hype whatsoever, we had 31 teenagers attend the meeting. And we kept going, so much so that at this point in time, we've nearly doubled the size of our group since the election. And we're still going strong. We've done it in Bucks County. We're still going. We've created a model to bring teens, get them involved in politics, bring in fresh volunteers to the Republican Party, create a vehicle to portray our conservative case to high schoolers who pretty soon the only political case they're hearing will be coming from their liberal professors. And also we found a way to inspire our non-teenager volunteers. Because when our older volunteers see Teenage Republicans at the phone banks or knocking doors, they don't just see another kid helping out with a campaign. But they see kids who remind them of their own children or their grandchildren. Kids that remind them of why they first got involved in politics and volunteering in the first place, not to save this country for themselves, but to save this country for future generations. And that's why Bucks County is leading the charge and officially launching the Pennsylvania Teenage Republicans. Through the Pennsylvania Teenage Republicans, we hope to not only create a network of existing Teenage Republican groups by being able to exchange ideas on what works and what doesn't work with things like member recruitment or fundraising, but we hope to go to areas that don't have a Teenage Republican presence and start groups there using the Bucks County model. The thing with what we've done in Bucks County is it's not just specific to Bucks County, it can work anywhere. And it's really not that hard to do. So we have a booth right outside, and we'd really love to meet each and every one of you by tomorrow afternoon to have a conversation about what we can do in your area. We have literature and brochures with all of our website information and contact information, so please stop by. Just remember that it's the future of this country we have to save, and with your support, it'll be the future of this country that saves it. Thank you, and God bless you.
If only I had that much energy when I was that age. That's pretty awesome.